Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. So today's video is on flower power in a dementia unit. And flowers are powerful in the sense that they're beautiful, they're fragrant, it's the outside in. All women, and men of this age group in Christchurch, New Zealand anyway, being the garden city, supposedly of the world, some say, love flowers. They've all the women, most of the women will have had beautiful gardens in their day. Traditionally, the men doing the vegetable garden and them doing the rose garden or the flower garden. So they all love flowers and, any sort of flowers, spring flowers, roses, fragrant flowers, they love the lot. And actually, even a person who may be very, shut down and shut off, when an old friend comes in and brings them a bunch of lovely, fragrant spring flowers, it's very rare that they won't say, once they've smelled them, it's very rare that they won't say, or maybe beautiful red roses with a fragrance, that they won't say, lovely. That's all right, lovely. From there you can start having a little chat on the basis of the flowers and how lovely they are, where you've grown them, how many you've got, the colours, spring's here, what the weather's like, the birds are coming out now, the sky's wonderful, whatever, wonderful things around that little bunch of flowers. You can have a lovely conversation. It's just to get it started. It's always to get it started, to get that key theme of being able to awaken the thinking of the person, to get them, their cognition going, a point of interest. And flowers do that every time. I always used to like seeing the elderly friends come in, because often, they're 90, aren't they? The person in the unit is 90, then the friend will be 90, chances are, especially if they're a long-term school friend, same year at school. So it's really difficult for these 90-year-old friends to come in, mercy for that. Gosh, there was one resident whose 2 90-year-old friends came to visit her from a long way away. They'd driven 3 hours, if you can believe it. And the woman that drove, when she arrived, she was pretty shaky on her own, driving that distance with a friend. Gosh, that was the last time she was able to come and see her really good friend. It's quite sad. And, they bought these beautiful posy of flowers. So it was very touching, actually. When you see these moments that these people have to go through, it's like hardship, isn't it? Seeing your friend for the last time, that they're not going to be able to come again. 90 and driving, chance from 3 hours away. But the courage, they have incredible courage, and they make that effort for their good friend and bring the flowers with it. And so these are the very touching things and very important things that happen for these residents in the community. And it's important, it's so important. And also at the unit, the unit I worked at, they had lovely big, as they do, in the hospitals and nursing homes often, and certainly front foyers of retirement villages, big bouquets of beautiful fresh flowers. I mean, they do that in New Zealand. I don't know if they do it overseas. It's very expensive, but gorgeous, fresh, beautiful flowers. The way they arrange them, so artistic. Anyway, so expensive too, I'm sure, but so worth it. This lovely, big, stunning, every week, one new fresh bunch of flowers, all done up beautifully and attractively at the front desk. Anyway, they had this for years at the dementia unit. Then one week, I don't know what happened, there were no more flowers. Whether it was because the dementia residents were knocking them off the, front desk foyer ledge, or whether it was finances, whatever, don't know. But anyway, the flowers went, and it left a hole, I have to say, because they were such a nice point of contact and comment, a nice point for comment, so that when the residents did their, walking around the unit, they'd always pass the flowers and make a nice comment about the flowers, and sniff the flowers, look at the flowers, talk to the flowers, you know, converse with a friend about the flowers. A lot you can talk about in terms of flowers. So when those flowers went, it wasn't quite the same. It was a more barren, hospitalized feeling, you know. And talking about flowers, okay, so that's the flowers at the front desk. Now, in terms of the room, it's nice to have a bit of flower power going on there too. You know, elderly women in New Zealand often have flowery curtains, you know, lovely pink rose fabric curtains, lovely, you know, not daffodil bedspread, but roses again. Actually, roses are really good for fabrics. And quilts on the bed or duvets on the bed. You can get all sorts of flower patterns for the duvets on the bed. And it actually lifts a room when there's a bit of colour, you know, and beauty. And flowers always are colourful and they're always beautiful. So it's quite easy to get a bedspread, matching bedspread with lovely colours and flowers in them. And women always like that. And getting the colour, the theme of the room sorted out so that the colours are coordinated, which I'm sure you'll do. But actually, even some residents, families I've known have changed the curtains and put up beautiful curtains with flowers imprinted in the fabric of the curtains. Roses, say, red roses. You can't go wrong with pink and red roses. And it really gives a real sort of, you know, sort of, not jolt to the room, but vibrancy, that's it. It gives a vibrancy to the room when you've got these beautiful, gorgeous flowers. Because the rooms are so small, it's very difficult to create impact or definition or a defining moment in a room, you know, with anything, because it's all so small and cluttered often. But curtains are a large piece of fabric which you can play around with and make the room look nice as a result of, and get the nice rose curtains. And then the bedspread, that's large too, isn't it? Like, I don't know, a human body's length times half its width. So it covers the bed completely. And that lifts the room as well. I mean, you need to make use of the spaces and that are there to be able to maximise the effect in the room for colour and comfort and making sure that it's coordinated at the same time. Otherwise, you know, it's just a hospital feel. You know, you've got your green chair, your green nylon bedspread, you know, your standard, you know, hospital green, uncomfortable chair, and it's just bereft. It just feels like you've gone into a hospital unit or almost a prison unit, prison cell. It's not as bad as a prison cell, but it's not much better than a hospital room either. You know, that terrible institutionalized, stark, fluorescent lit feeling. Whereas all these things that we're talking about, creating comfort, bringing in the flower power, bringing in the color, bringing in the flowers, it makes it like home. I mean, that's the whole point of it. If the person feels that they're at home and they're comfortable and they've got beautiful things around, they're lovely flowers, you know, with their fragrance. And also for birthdays and anniversaries, you know, our relatives often bring in a bunch of flowers, or if they're overseas, get mum a bunch of flowers sent through the post. All of these things make such a difference, and flowers make play a big part in this. And also, if you can get a window seat, a room with a window looking onto the garden, looking onto the flowers, a big boon. So when you're going around sorting out the rooms, try and make sure that the view that your mother has some colour and vibrancy to it. And if not, when she first moves in, see if she can move on to another room later on that has the sunshine and the flowers that she can look out on. So this is, many ways here of how you can increase flower power in the unit. And also some clothes, are printed with fabric with flowers all over them. And that's always colourful and nice, rather than just, wearing the drab dark colours. So I'm sure you'll have many ideas out there as well about how to uplift the lives of people in dementia facilities with the power of beautiful, gorgeous flowers, real and unreal, printed fabrics and the like, in clothes and curtains, etc. Okay, so that's it today. Thank you for your likes and subscriptions. I really, really appreciate it.